Thank you for watching another episode. Today, I would like to share something with you. I believe it's one of the biggest sources of our emotions. A long time ago, we needed to predict the future in order to survive. And we still do that today. But these days, we call them expectations. Now, an expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or will be the case. Now, I believe it to be one of the unique abilities that we have. Expectations could give you joy, but they can also give you and can be the source of a lot of unhappiness and disappointment. Our expectations are built on our past experiences and what we think is likely to happen. Now, there are some different expectations you can have. You can have expectations about something on the long term, but also something on the short term. Just think about what we expect of our relationship, our friends, or our jobs. But we also have expectations about dinner tonight, the stock we just bought, how the journey to work is going to be, or the meeting you will have in just a couple of hours. And there's the fact, aside from your expectations, that other people have expectations too. Other people's expectations can have a great effect on our own expectations, because we usually have people in our lives that are just like us. We mostly think alike, and we can even adopt their expectations. Plus, there's the fact that their expectations are most of the time in line with our expectations. Especially watch out for other people's expectations, because they can also put limits on yours. Their expectations can also shape you for the rest of your life, just by the power of influence. So be on the lookout. And there's a variable factor on expectations. There are things that can happen randomly, something you didn't expect, and create some strong positive or negative feelings for you. It all depends on the meaning it has for you, or you give it. When that happens, you can take it with you the next time you form an expectation. But in the normal course of expectations, there are three things that can happen when we have expectations. Number one, our expectations aren't met. Number two, our expectations are met. Or number three, our expectations are surpassed. But what happens when they aren't met? When they are met or even surpassed? It's interesting, simple, and also very logical. But we don't normally stop and think about what they're doing to us. If an expectation isn't met, then we get disappointed. It's negative. Now, if this happens just a couple of times, no problem. It doesn't matter. You can handle that. But when it happens over and over again, it could lead to some devastating feelings like worry, stress, fear, feeling alone, pessimism, or even depression. And eventually, you can even lose hope, which could even lead to death. If an expectation is met, we feel normal, because what happens is in correlation with our expectations. It's fine, and we don't have a lot of strong feelings when that happens. So, when the event meets our expectations, then there's nothing special about it, nothing out of the ordinary. So that's why most of the times when you ask someone how they're doing and their expectations are met that day, they usually reply with fine, because nothing out of the ordinary happened. But when our expectations are surpassed, then it opens up a window of some incredible good feelings. We feel empowered, terrific, incredible, or fantastic. We feel like we could take on the whole world and move mountains. It feels wonderful. What I'm trying to say is that we should try our best to make sure that our expectations are at least met, but also that we have to make a serious effort to try to set things up that we can have more of our expectations being surpassed. So in order to have as much joy as possible from your expectations, the only thing you need to do is increase the chances of your expectations being surpassed. But how to do that? You can make that possible by looking for opportunities, working on your goals, searching for and having new experiences, and creating new possibilities and connections. Now lastly, there are a lot of ways, of course, on how to deal with the negativity you get from expectations. Some say, don't have expectations, let them all go. But I don't believe that's even possible, not to have any expectations. I believe we have them automatically. Or you need to lower your expectations, then everything will be fine. Maybe. But it also makes you think in limits and lets you think negative most of the time. Now, I already made a video about attitude diseases and diseases of the mind and the cure. And there are already a lot of answers in there. But I also learned another technique, an interesting way to deal with the negative side, feelings and emotions we get from expectations. So if you're interested, then watch one of my new videos called Bending. So for now, thank you for watching, thank you for your time, surpass your expectations, and I'll see you next time.